Hi, Gus the Hut here, coming back with part 3 of this Dark Angels Codex review. We're going to be coming back with the Green Wing section of the army, or otherwise entitled, Where the Hell Did These Grav Weapons Come From?
What grav weapons? No one saw no grav weapons, right? I'd just like to point out for clarification, spot the Dark Angel Lagoon over there. They're not called Green Wing, they're just Marines.
It's Green Wing.
It's not Green Wing.
It's Green Wing.
Green Wing was never one of the original 6 wings.
It was a pretty good sitcom.
Well, it was, but it was Dread Wing, Iron Wing, Death Wing, Raven Wing, X Wing, and Chicken Wing. Because we never really found out what the other two are, but I like the fact that I just like Chicken Wings.
But coming with the 30k heresy stuff, we should be able to find out what them wings are quite shortly.
What the other two are, yeah.
Especially the leaked Dark Angels upgrades that we've just seen from Forge World.
Yes.
Yay!
This new Forge World haven't forgotten we exist.
Right, so yeah, we're doing the standard normal Marines for Dark Angels, or Green Wing.
The Codex bit.
The Codex bit. We're going to start off with Azrael, work our way down the characters that we think are, but basically work our way down all the characters bar the 2 that go into the other 2 wings, and then into the normal stuff.
We'll also be going over the main detachment for the army as well.
Yeah,
yes.
That is kind of a key.
So, first off, because this may take a bit, because we could go off onto a rant here, we have our Lord of War. This average pile of retarded crap.
I think if he worked out real hard and practiced with a sword, he might achieve average.
This model is so out of date, they needed to update him, and instead we got a really average Interrogator Chaplain model instead of a proper sized Azrael model.
I like the model. I actually quite like him.
He's so out of date. He's so small compared to other models, it's unbelievable. He's so, yeah.
It's a 2nd edition sculpt, isn't it? Yes.
Right at the end of it, yeah.
Yeah. It was when the Codex Angels of Death
came
when
out. Angels of Death dropped, it dropped.
I still quite like it. But the stats that they've given him, you can't call something a Lord of War
when he ain't a Lord of War.
when he's not a Lord of War. It's just, we're going to what, Fellblade as a Lord of War choice?
Yeah.
What happens when you fire a las cannon at a Fellblade?
It might take a wound off of it.
What happens when you fire a las cannon at Lord Azrael?
If you don't make that 4 up, he's dead.
Yeah, 50-50, dead.
See, now this is my big issue with these books, is that because most of this is copy pasted, and they looked at Azrael, and this is where I've got props to the Blood Angels book. The Blood Angels were moaning incessantly. It was like, what's the point of taking Dante? He hasn't got Eternal Warrior. He's shit. And he was. He was over points costed. The new book come out. He got Eternal Warrior. He's now playable.
And an axe that was hitting at initiative as well.
Exactly.
He's
and now
double-R'd.
It's our turn to get a better codex than Blood Angels, because they were the experimental 7th edition codex this time, not us. But we still get a Lord of War that hasn't got Eternal Warrior. What are they fucking playing at? And forgive my French, but they are completely stupid.
I probably should have given this little disclaimer at the beginning, and that if anybody's offended by offensive language,
fuck off.
I mean,
it's only Azrael that's bringing out this nerd rage.
Yeah, I mean, the nerd rage is going on this guy, because if you're a Dark Angels player, you want the pinnacle chapter master, your guy, to be as best as he can be. And for 215 points, I'd rather wipe my arse with this character.
And this is glossy paper, so it's not absorbent.
Exactly. Than take him ever. He's rubbish. He's absolutely turd.
Now, I would like to throw the counter argument to this. There's been a lot of discussion on some of the Dark Angels groups saying that he's a support character.
Fuck off.
I was leading up to that, but thanks for just... No, you're right. It is just... Why take a 215 point character that you've got to put in another expensive unit with an expensive transport just to make them better?
Alright, so now we take a deep breath back and go, but fluff. Fine. You want fluff and you want to take this guy? What you're doing, what you're saying to your opponent is like, I want to have fun. I don't care that 215 points of my army is shit. I just want to have a look good and do it. And you know what? Props to you. What I would recommend is take a 90 point chapter master and equip him up to the 9s, and you'll still get a better model than this guy. And he isn't a Lord of War. In that case, then you can spend 150 quid on a Fellblade and then nuke everything in sight as well.
Las cannons bounce off one, kill the other.
So if they'd given this guy Eternal Warrior for 215 points, then he would have been he would have gone average to good.
In this case, he hasn't got the rules factor, but he hasn't got the cool factor either because
he's
of
lost
the rubbish model.
No, I don't.
You,
Again,
you,
I
can,
don't
you
mind.
can forgive bad rules with a cool model.
Yes,
But he hasn't even
totally agree.
He's got contradictory rules.
Yes.
He's got no Eternal Warrior. But they've buffed his Feel No Pain from the 6+ that his army used to give him to full-on Feel No Pain. But without Eternal Warrior, you don't get Feel No Pain anyway. So if somebody hits you with something that's double your toughness, and his is 4, so you get hit by that magical las cannon, or a multi-melter, or any of the other plethora of strength 8 weapons, you haven't got Eternal Warrior, so it's an insta-kill shot, you don't get your Feel No Pain. So that's completely pointless.
Yep, they took away his fun gun as well.
It's now a plasma gun that doesn't blind people.
Yeah.
Meh. That's not the end of the world. The +1 to seizing the initiative, it's good from a fluff perspective, but
it isn't good enough.
No, it's not good enough, and also...
And half of the time it's
half
useless
the time
anyway.
you're going to win the season initiative, or you're going to win the initiative.
His only boon is he can pick the Warlord trait. And that may make a difference, but not for 215 points.
But that's the support character element. Okay, yes, he can guarantee that you can muck about with your reserve rolls and then come in on +1 or -1. You are paying quite the premium for that. Because if you don't give him stuff that's going to protect him, he's going to die.
Yeah.
So he needs...
So can anyone remember what the Necron guy that sees his initiative on?
4.
So why haven't we got that? That's the thing that gets on my wick. We are meant to be the ultimate strategists. When
Not
it
the
comes,
English actual word.
Nearly. When it comes to Space Marines, or the good chapters, we are meant to come to that, and we get +1 to seize initiative. What a pile of tripe! I mean, for 215 points, I could have wrote a better character than this.
I think you've missed the pivotal one now, though. If he's inside a vehicle where he's not doing any good to anybody, that vehicle gets his 4+ invulnerable save.
Yeah, what do you do?
Well, they've taken away a power field generator for 30 points and replaced it with a 215-point power field generator.
I mean, to be honest, me and him could sit here and rant on this pile of crap for ages. And if you like him, more props to you. And I'll tell you what, if you've got an honest reason why you would take him over a normal commander equipped up to the 9s, and I mean an honest reason, please put it in the list below, and I'll have a look at it, and Gus can tell me, and I'll either give you the thumbs up, yes, I was wrong, or no, you're still wrong.
We'll give you a clue. There aren't any.
Right.
But fluff reasons. Fluff is, solid.
Anyway, moving on. So, we're going to ignore the 2 other main guys, and we're going straight to interrogate chaplains. Yeah,
They're
okay,
alright.
they're alright. They've been upgraded. They've all got Grim Resolve. They've got the issue they've got the standard chaplain flaws, which is basically their original weapon is crap, but you can give them a good weapon, and that then makes them a very scary prospect.
The Mesa Redemption is a bit
Yeah.
it's a bit funky for that.
Yeah, give them Power Fist, maybe. You've got 5-pin van, they might survive. You can give them Terminator Armour. Yeah, you can give them Terminator Armour. Yeah, you know what? They are just a very good model. 110 points, yes, I would take this. And we'll quickly skip the main guy and we'll go to the other chaplains because there is a point for this. You don't take them. Ever. For 20 points, you just take interrogate chaplains. You know, if you're playing Dark Angels and you're worried about the model ain't got a robe and you put a chaplain down and someone has a go at you, you don't want to be playing him in the first place. If you've got a guy that looks like a chaplain and you say he's interrogate chaplain, that's fine. To be honest,
if you're running chaplains in Dark Angels, just for cool factor alone, why would you not run an interrogator?
Yeah, I mean, I know why the other chaplain's there because it basically just for it's for fluff because the people they start off at chaplains and then recruit themselves to be interrogator chaplains.
Yeah. But he's not that cheap. A secondary support character.
Oh no! I mean, 20 points. You get a ballistic skill upgrade, an extra attack, an extra wound, an extra initiative.
That's a reasonable...
Guys, do not take this chaplain. He's crap. Take an interrogate chaplain. They're actually pretty good when you give them a better weapon. They've got Zealot Steel. They've got and this is the one that does matter. They've got preferred enemy Chaos Space Marines. Put that in a unit, and if you're playing against Chaos Space Marines, they're going to feel it.
Well, if you're going to use Deathwing,
Oh yeah, I mean.
That means they're all re-rolling ones and, well, actually everything that misses.
Yep.
Yeah, the re-rolling hits in combat in the first round and re-rolling ones to wound.
And this guy has got,
carries on.
And what's even worse is this guy's got the Deathwing special, which means re-rolling hits the first round of combat. He's a zealot as well, with the zealot rule. Basically, this guy and the unit that goes into combat with him are just re-rolling everything. It's really good.
Yeah. Bad day to be a Chaos General.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Then we go on to Asmodai. Still the same points. As far as I know. Yep, still the same points.
There's very little change about him.
Master of Repentance, has he still got that? Or is that new?
No, that's new, but
Yeah.
the likelihood... Master of Repentance says that if Asmodai kills the enemy warlord in a challenge, he gets D3 extra victory points. Nice and fluffy, that's good.
Yeah.
The problem is, he's never going to kill the enemy warlord. Just...
Another thing as well, we were going on about the chapter traits, the hunt. Games Workshop have done a copy-paste job, and they haven't realised that the hunt on him is
It's
pointless.
almost completely pointless.
They've given him the hunt because he had the hunt in the original book where it actually mattered to kill something in combat. Now it doesn't. My advice is use a really cool model that Asmodai's got and just make an interrogator chaplain, and you'll be saving yourself 30 points.
Yeah, I don't actually have that Asmodai model. I've got the original one.
Yeah,
with the power
original.
sword.
Yeah, when he was better.
It's made of metal. Some people...
Anyway, Asmodai,
Yeah.
average. No
Just
good.
Nah.
The only time you're going to get that off where your opponent's going to roll a 1 and your guy and he dies, great. But to be honest, it's insta death, and there's so many Eternal Warriors out there now. He's just ain't good.
Strength 4 and instant death.
It's just not good.
It's not going to do anything.
No.
It's
So, pants. If you're going to take a chaplain, take an interrogator chaplain.
funky model, pants rules.
Librarians, they're good. Take Interromancy with them.
In a conclave.
Put them in a formation, conclave, spend £2 on that, go and get it, great.
Not on commission or anything.
Yeah, the librarians, once again, Dark Angels suffer the fact that they can't have biomancy, but we get Interromancy, and Interromancy, as we've reviewed in the part 1, is a very good power.
And they still have access to telepathy, which is and divination, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
So you can start chucking
Agreed.
around psychic shrieks and invisibility, as well as our new funky toys. You'll see a lot of those.
And chucking out twin linked as well with divination.
Chucking out twin.
80 points for level... 80 points? 90
No,
points.
it's
90
90
points.
points for
90
level
points for
2.
level 2. That's fine.
It's pretty reasonable.
Psychic could.
The issue is they've got very little that keeps them alive.
Yeah.
They're not big.
But
on
librarians have always suffered with the fact that they don't get a 4-up invulnerable.
No.
You just stick them in a unit though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is that. I mean, the thing that's most likely to kill a librarian is him blowing his own brain up.
Yeah.
That's where you take 4.
I mean that is the weakness for librarians in general in most Space Marine cohorts, is that chaplains, not cohorts, chapters. Sorry.
Roman again.
Yeah, went all Roman again. I'm not the Ultramarines, for fuck's sake. Yeah, they insta-jib weapons will just still cane any psychers that come on the table, and you're going to have to protect them somehow.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Ezekiel.
He's a bit good.
Yeah, I like him.
We like him.
Yeah, I really do like him.
He's had a bit of a tweak, hasn't
Yeah,
he?
he has had a bit of a tweak. Has he gained anything? Mastercrafted bolt pistol, mastercrafted bolt pistol.
He's still got a 2-up invulnerable save.
He's
Armour
sword.
save.
His sword's now mastercrafted.
He's only vulnerable.
He's got 2-up invulnerable save.
No, he ain't got an invulnerable save.
Oh, no.
But he's got a mastercrafted full sword now. He never had that in the
If
old.
anybody plays with him with a 2-up invulnerable save, they're cheating.
Yeah.
Tell him I said it's okay. My book's got green crayon scribbled across the bottom of it.
The only big change is his relic.
Yeah.
So it used to give them +1 to the weapon skill. Now they give them +1 attack.
So any
I
Dark
will take the
Angels
attack every
within
day
6
of the week.
inches
Yeah.
get +1 attack.
More attacks is good.
Now, it's kind of a shame that you can't... It'll be tricky. The criticism I've generally had of Ezekiel is you can't bang him on a bike like you can a standard librarian.
Yeah.
So things like the Interromancy thing that gives rage to Sammael and his Black Knight unit that's going to go... This mythical unit that we've made up that's quite cool. But if you get in within 6 inches of that while they're also getting another attack on the charge, they start becoming epic. But getting him to within 6 inches of something that's already moving twice as fast as him...
He has to be in a transport.
Yeah. Which means he can't do half the stuff he...
Well, he can. He still mind worms.
No, yeah, true. And it does actually say as long as they're within 6 inches of him. It doesn't say whether it's in a vehicle.
And which, by the rules of that, means it then extends from the vehicle, not him.
So a Land Raider with the las cannons turned outwards, so...
No, weapons don't count.
No, it's from the hull.
Anyway, so Ezekiel...
Unlike Age of Sigmar.
Yeah. Ezekiel, I still like him. We're not going... Shut up, you. Chapter Masters, they're good. They're not as good as the standard Space Marine stuff because they don't get the nuke from orbit, but they do get our relics.
Well, this isn't a company master, not a chapter master.
Oh yeah, because we don't get chapter masters, do we?
We've got our chapter
You've
master,
got a
as
chapter
well.
master.
Yeah, who's crap.
We might have mentioned that.
Yeah, just a little bit, and we'll go on and mention it.
For anyone that whizzed through the rant for about 5 minutes of us saying
Azrael's crap,
that didn't bother going that, we'll just reiterate. Just don't. They're good.
Yeah, they are good. They are literally plug and play guys. They do a job.
The main job you're going to have with them is when you take a demi company, you've got to have some form of command.
Yeah,
it's either going to be an interrogator chaplain or this guy for 90 points.
You can get. Can you? You can give them
just the
some
crying
shots.
shame that you just can't put them on a bike. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there is a fluff basis for this. It's
and I mean, I defend that. There is a fluff basis. He would never go on a bike because he ain't painted black, yo. He painted green.
Yeah.
Chaplains, we've been through them. Don't take them. Take interrogator chaplains. I mean, to be honest, if you're struggling for 20 points, then just look at your list.
Just rework your list. You'll probably find that somebody posted a list up that they've done just as a thing, and they put. It was a demi company. They've got there's 3 tactical squads with 5 Marines in each, and plasma cannons, and melter bombs. And they said, I'm short of points for something else. So, well, you've given them plasma cannons that says you're going to sit back and shoot stuff, and melter bombs that says you're going to get right stuck into a tank's face and blow it up. They're contradictory. They've bin the plasma cannons or bin the melter bombs. Yeah, you can always tweak and adjust and Christ knows whatever else.
Yep.
Scouts.
No, Tech Marines. We've got to get them done. Tech Marines. They're 15 points more expensive. Other than that, they're pretty much staying the same.
They've got 2 wounds.
They got 2 wounds and an extra attack. Yeah. So for 15 points, you get an extra wound and an extra attack.
Honestly, the only reason in the previous editions that Dark Angels would generally take a Tech Marine was to stick it on a bike with a power field generator and park it behind a tank.
Or, as I did, in 750 point games, where every point's essential and you don't want to spend money on a HQ choice, you just take a Tech Marine. It's a little bit different now, but still 65 points. And as we get to the formations later, one of these is
You can still run combined arms detachments though with that setup. So
yeah, you can.
For small games.
Yes, you can.
They're good. They're Tech Marines. I mean, I've never run one with a servitor unit. I've just never quite seen.
Yeah, I've never bothered with servitors. They can be useful, but they do rack up points. Are they 10 points each?
They're 10 points each, but it's when you start stacking up with things like plasma cannons, they start getting really expensive.
Yeah.
I didn't realise they could have plasma cannons up until now. I might guess them.
That's it, isn't it?
That's
So
basically
that's the characters done.
Tech Marines are Tech Marines.
Overall, they slightly got better.
Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, Interrogator Chaplain's got a bit better.
There isn't a big change in the characters until the other 2, which we get to in our own parts. Tactical squads, or we're going to do scouts first?
I don't mind.
Let's do scouts, because there's a big difference with scouts, which came with the Space Marine codex that we got as well.
Charles.
Right.
A tactical squad is a tactical squad. It's codex.
Oh, so we're doing tactical squads, are we?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, fine. See, we can't make up our mind. Tactical squad, 70 points, same points. Yeah, I'm just talking to the camera.
There was rehearsal.
What he means is singing in the shower.
There's me in a mirror. It's not the X Factor.
We've got grav weapons, so they get more grav weapons.
More than the previous none.
None, yeah, because they found them out back in a box in the rock.
Yeah. The Tech Marines have been playing poker using the crates
Well,
as a...
Just as a question from here, is there a good reason not to take a grav cannon on the unit now?
Not to.
Is there a good reason not to take them? Because
they're really expensive.
But the fact of the matter is that you can move with it and still shoot at full ballistic skill. Not as many shots and not quite as long range.
They're 35 points.
Yeah, but you still get good use out of it on the move.
So
it depends why you'd be taking it. If you want to shaft vehicles,
heavy weapons,
they're pretty good. If you want to shaft things with a decent saving throw, they're pretty good because they're going to wound on the 2+, or anything that's got a 2+ save, it wounds based on that. And it is salvo 5. It's quite a punchy bit of kit. But against certain armies, it's a 35-point weapon. And it can be rendered completely useless. Against an Orc boy unit, you're wounding on 6s.
So I'm just going through the points to see if they've changed. Bolter and multi-melter are the same. Hit missile launcher with frag and crack. Can't take it. Oh,
Flat
flat
missile.
missile.
Flat for the extra 10. I think it's essentially the same.
It's the same. It's exactly the same.
The Grim Resolve has
35
changed.
points. Yeah, Grim Resolve changed.
But yeah, the grav cannon. I don't know. I mean, I've always had a proper Dark Angels hold on for plasma,
Yeah.
It's nice and fluffy.
and it also blows stuff up.
Once again, if you're going to break it down into like the way you're looking at stuff with Grim Resolve and the way they want you, maybe you want to play your tactical squads, which is shoring up objectives on your side of the table. You don't want to be giving them template weapons.
No, because they can't then fire them.
Or blast
Overwatch.
weapons, sorry.
Yeah, template weapons are fine.
Fine. So you maybe want to give them either multi-melters, heavy bolters or missile launchers.
But
Or grav cannons.
Stuff that they can utilise, they're plus to the Overwatch. Grav cannons are a very specific...
Yeah.
I think you'll probably have some of those floating around, but I don't know whether you bother putting them in tactical.
There's very few armies that you'll come up against though where you won't have an
Well,
okay
there'll be
target.
something you
At the worst, every army will have something that will at least have a 4-up armour save.
But
So wounding on 4s.
to be brutally honest, other than the grav weapon upgrade that the entire army got when they can take them, tactical skills haven't changed at all. They're still there, and they're still looking pretty, and they're still going to be, to be honest, if you're going to play Green Wing, they're going to be useful. They're going to be the main bulk of your army.
There's still a bunch of Space Marines with guns.
And now we go on to the next one, Scouts. I love Scouts. I think sniper rifles are a very, very good bit of kit for Dark Angels. I think they shore up holes that most other units don't do.
And they're cheap.
And I tend to use Scout squads over Assault squads because the way my playstyle works, especially for 7th edition, is just shoot things. Don't get in combat. Scouts, we're going to have to put at least 5 or 10 minutes onto this thing because they have got a massive upgrade. Their stat buff, which is basically
they've got
free.
better shots.
Oh, that's ridiculous! Like
They're Space Marines.
They're grown-up Marines now.
They're actual Space Marines with worse
But
armour.
saying that, fluff-wise, for Scouts for the Dark Angels, that's correct. Because they always used to have to spend longer in the Scouts than going into tactical squads than any other Space Marine army. So, nah. So we should have better ones. Unfortunately, it's just everyone now.
Yeah, now everyone gets it.
Yeah, well, everyone except the Blood Angels and Space Wolves, which are... Well, Space Wolves didn't have Scouts anyway.
No.
They're,
Well, yes, they do. They have Wolf Scouts, don't they?
Yeah, they do get Wolf Scouts.
but they've also...
But they're different. They are good.
Yeah.
Scouts.
Hellfire rounds in heavy bolters.
What they've done with this is they've basically taken everything off of a Scout and given you options with them. That's amazing. You want camo cloaks, you pay for it. You want sniper rifles, you pay for it. If not, you've got a really cheap squad for cheap points.
There's still ballistics 4 and still has bolt guns.
Yeah, I am pro Scouts all the way through.
Well, it's also infiltrate, move through cover.
Oh,
they're just
they've got the lot.
Nothing slows them down. If you start assaulting them now, they're actually quite reasonable in a fight.
Yeah.
And if you charge them, they've got Grim Resolve, so they can be better at overwatching you. They've become a very solid choice. They used to be a bit flaky. You could infiltrate them and put them next to like some kind of objective, possibly. Again, if you've watched any of the Storm of Sidrus campaign, there is the running joke about the party scouts because
they do nothing.
They just forgot to shoot at things because you hide them. And I have a habit of hiding my scouts so effectively that I can't find them. So I just forget to shoot things. And now you actually start thinking there's a formation of scouts that crops up. So they're quite viable.
They do throw a good party though.
They do throw a good party. There ain't no party like a scout party.
I'm very...
We are pro scouts now.
So we're going to bring an end to this video here. In the next section, we're going to be talking about the Green Wing Elite Heavy Supports and Fast Attack, as well as briefly talking about the new detachment that the Dark Angels have available to them. So come along and join us for part 4 for that.